Get ready for an exciting journey as we remember every Super Bowl in just 20 minutes. So pay attention as we speed through this high-energy rundown full of trivia and top plays. Let's kick things off with the most recent and count down to the golden oldies, Super Bowl 57, 2023. In a thrilling showdown at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, the Kansas City Chiefs edged out the Philadelphia Eagles, 38-35. Patrick Mahomes, battling an ankle injury, claimed MVP honors by throwing for 3 touchdowns and orchestrating a second-half comeback. Andy Reid secured his second Lombardi trophy with Kansas City, beating his former team's replacement. Rihanna's halftime spectacle also stole the show, capping off a high-scoring classic that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Super Bowl 56, 2022. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, hosted its first Super Bowl, where the Los Angeles Rams defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20. Cooper Kupp snagged MVP honors after hauling in the go-ahead touchdown in the final minutes. A fierce Rams defense led by Aaron Donald pressured Joe Burrow relentlessly. It was the Rams' second Lombardi trophy overall and their first since returning to Los Angeles. A hip-hop-infused halftime featuring Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar electrified viewers. Super Bowl 55, 2021. Tom Brady led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a commanding 31-9 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs at Raymond James Stadium. At age 43, Brady earned his 7th ring and 5th MVP award, proving he still had plenty left in the tank. The Bucs defense harassed Patrick Mahomes all night, holding Kansas City to 0 touchdowns. This marked the first time a team played and won the Super Bowl in its home stadium, furthering Brady's legendary legacy. Super Bowl 54, 2020. In Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, the Kansas City Chiefs overcame a 10-point fourth-quarter deficit to defeat the San Francisco 49ers, 31-20. Patrick Mahomes spearheaded 2 quick touchdown drives and was named MVP, notching his first Lombardi trophy. Andy Reid finally grabbed a Super Bowl ring after years of near misses. The triumph ended Kansas City's 50-year championship drought and showcased the Chiefs' explosive offense paired with timely defensive stops down the stretch. Quick timeout. If you're enjoying the Super Bowl speed run, hit like and subscribe. Over 98% of you watch without subscribing. That's more blown coverage than the Falcons in 28-3. Don't be that team. Thanks, legends. Super Bowl 53, 2019. A defensive showdown at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta saw the New England Patriots edge the Los Angeles Rams, 13-3. Julian Edelman claimed MVP with 141 receiving yards in a grinded-out affair. Despite being one of the lowest-scoring Super Bowls ever, it underscored Bill Belichick's defensive genius. Tom Brady earned his 6th ring, the most for any quarterback. The Rams' high-powered offense failed to find the end zone until late, solidifying the Patriots' dynasty. Super Bowl 52, 2018. The Philadelphia Eagles earned their first Lombardi trophy by toppling the New England Patriots 41-33 in Minneapolis. Backup, QB Nick Foles authored a fairy tale performance, nabbing MVP honors thanks to the memorable Philly special trick play touchdown catch. Tom Brady racked up 505 passing yards, but New England's defense couldn't contain the Eagles' relentless approach. Doug Peterson's bold play calling defined the night, forever endearing Foles to Philadelphia fans who had waited decades for glory. Super Bowl 51, 2017. NRG Stadium in Houston showcased one of the greatest comebacks in sports history as the New England Patriots rallied from a 28-3 deficit to beat the Atlanta Falcons, 34-28 in overtime. Tom Brady, throwing for 466 yards, earned MVP in his 5th championship win. James White's rushing touchdown sealed the first Super Bowl overtime. Atlanta's offense exploded early, but the Falcons' defense tired in the second half, opening the door for yet another Patriots epic. Super Bowl 50, 2016. Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara hosted the Denver Broncos' 24-10 triumph over the Carolina Panthers. Von Miller won MVP with 2.5 sacks, repeatedly knocking the ball loose from league MVP Cam Newton. Peyton Manning, though limited, became the first quarterback to start and win for 2 different teams. Denver's defense, boasting a formidable pass rush, forced multiple turnovers. The Golden Anniversary festivities were star-studded, celebrating 5 decades of Super Bowl moments. Super Bowl 49, 2015. Glendale, Arizona was the stage for a classic between the New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks, ending 28-24 after Malcolm Butler's famous goal line interception of Russell Wilson. Tom Brady's 4 touchdown passes and Super Bowl MVP performance overshadowed a controversial decision by Seattle to throw instead of running Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line. The back-and-forth affair remains one of the most talked-about finishes in NFL history, cementing Butler's name in Super Bowl lore. Super Bowl 48, 2014. MetLife Stadium hosted the first cold-weather outdoor Super Bowl, featuring Seattle's league-best defense against Denver's record-setting offense. The Seahawks dominated from the first snap, scoring on a safety en route to a 43-8 victory. Linebacker Malcolm Smith snagged MVP after a pick-6 and fumble recovery. Peyton Manning's high-flying Broncos never got on track, overshadowed by Seattle's Legion of Boom, giving the Seahawks their first franchise championship. Super Bowl 47, 2013. Nicknamed the Harbaugh Bowl, This clash in New Orleans featured brothers John, Ravens, and Jim, 49ers, as opposing head coaches. Baltimore sprinted ahead, only for a stadium blackout to shift momentum. The 49ers roared back, but the Ravens held on to win 34-31. Joe Flacco's 287 yards and 3 TDs earned him MVP. Jacoby Jones scored on a 108-yard kickoff return, helping secure Baltimore's second Lombardi Trophy in franchise history. Super Bowl 46, 2012. In a rematch of Super Bowl 42, the New York Giants bested the New England Patriots 21-17 in Indianapolis. Eli Manning won his second MVP by delivering precise passes, including a legendary sideline throw to Mario Manningham on the game-winning drive. Tom Brady's offense struggled to find big plays when it mattered most. With this victory, Tom Coughlin joined the ranks of 2-time Super Bowl winning head coaches, while the Patriots wondered what might have been. Super Bowl 45, 2011. Cowboy Stadium in Arlington hosted the Green Bay Packers' 31-25 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers earned MVP by throwing for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns, showcasing pinpoint accuracy. The Packers forced key turnovers, including Nick Collins' pick 6 in the first quarter. Despite a Steelers comeback, Green Bay held on for its 4th Lombardi Trophy overall. This triumph returned the hardware to Titletown for the first time since Brett Favre's win in Super Bowl 22. Super Bowl 44, 2010. The New Orleans Saints claimed their first title by defeating the Indianapolis Colts 31-17 in Miami. Drew Brees completed 32 passes for 288 yards, earning MVP. Sean Payton's surprise onside kick to open the second half fueled a momentum swing. Tracy Porter's late pick 6 of Peyton Manning sealed the upset. The victory crowned the Saints' underdog story, providing a huge morale boost to New Orleans in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Super Bowl 43, 2009. In a thriller, the Pittsburgh Steelers edged the Arizona Cardinals 27-23. Santonio Holmes made a tiptoe catch in the corner of the end zone for the winning score, clinching MVP honors. James Harrison's 100-yard interception return before halftime remains legendary. Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald nearly orchestrated a comeback, but Ben Roethlisberger's late-game heroics delivered the Steelers their 6th Lombardi Trophy, the most in NFL history at the time. Super Bowl 42, 2008. The New York Giants shocked the 18-0 New England Patriots 17-14, ending the Pats' pursuit of a perfect season. Eli Manning's escape and subsequent pass resulted in David Tyree's helmet catch, one of the most iconic plays in football. Moments later, Plaxico Burress scored the winning touchdown. A relentless Giants pass rush-hounded Tom Brady all evening, thwarting the highest-scoring offense the NFL had ever seen. Super Bowl 41, 2007. A rainy Miami evening welcomed Peyton Manning's Indianapolis Colts versus the Chicago Bears. Devin Hester ran back the opening kickoff for a touchdown, but the Colts recovered for a 29-17 victory. Manning's precise passing earned him MVP honors. Tony Dungy made history as the first African-American head coach to win a Super Bowl. Despite early fireworks, the Bears' offense struggled against the Colts' underrated defense, sealing Chicago's defeat. Super Bowl 40, 2006. Detroit's Ford Field witnessed the Pittsburgh Steelers' 21-10 victory over the Seattle Seahawks. Controversial calls overshadowed big moments, but Pittsburgh capitalized on turnovers and trick plays. Hines Ward garnered MVP, scoring on a 43-yard gadget pass from Antoine Randall L. This marked Bill Cowher's first Lombardi Trophy and made the Steelers the first 6th-seeded team to win it all. Seattle lamented missed opportunities and questionable penalties in their first Super Bowl appearance. Super Bowl 39, 2005. Jacksonville hosted the New England Patriots' 24-21 win over the Philadelphia Eagles, securing the Pats' 3rd title in 4 years. Deion Branch dominated with 133 receiving yards on 11 receptions, earning MVP. Tom Brady kept his cool, while Rodney Harrison's late interception sealed the deal. Donovan McNabb threw 3 TDs, but also 3 picks. This victory cemented New England's 2000s dynasty, underlining Bill Belichick's reputation for out-scheming the competition. Super Bowl 38, 2004. In Houston's Reliant Stadium, the New England Patriots outgunned the Carolina Panthers 32-29 in a high-scoring shootout. Tom Brady piled up 354 yards, collecting his 2nd Super Bowl MVP. The game was tense throughout, culminating in Adam Vinatieri's 41-yard game-winning field goal with 4 seconds left. Known for its explosive fourth quarter, it also garnered attention for the infamous halftime wardrobe malfunction involving Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, sparking nationwide conversation. Super Bowl 37, 2003. San Diego's Qualcomm Stadium featured John Gruden's Tampa Bay Buccaneers against his former team, the Oakland Raiders. The Bucs' defense delivered 5 interceptions, 3 returned for touchdowns, cruising to a 48-21 win. Safety Dexter Jackson earned MVP for his 2 early picks. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, and Simeon Rice anchored a ferocious unit that dismantled Oakland's top-rated offense. Gruden's knowledge of the Raiders' schemes proved crucial in Tampa Bay's first title. Super Bowl 36, 2002. In a monumental upset, the New England Patriots beat the heavily favored St. Louis Rams 2017 at the Superdome. Tom Brady's game-winning drive set up Adam Vinatieri's 48-yard field goal as time expired. New England's defense stifled the greatest show on turf, limiting Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk. Brady, thrust into action that season due to injury, claimed his first Super Bowl MVP, launching the era of Patriot dominance. Super Bowl 35, 2001. Tampa's Raymond James Stadium witnessed the Baltimore Ravens' suffocating defense subdue the New York Giants, 34-7. Ray Lewis earned MVP thanks to a commanding performance orchestrating the defense. Dwayne Stark snatched a pick-6, while Jermaine Lewis returned a kickoff for another big score. Although Trent Dilfer managed a modest game, it didn't matter with the Ravens' D forcing turnovers. This was Baltimore's first Super Bowl triumph since relocating from Cleveland. Super Bowl 34, 2000. A heart-stopping finish in Atlanta saw the St. Louis Rams hold off the Tennessee Titans 23-16. Kurt Warner threw for a record 414 yards, earning MVP. Kevin Dyson's catch ended 1 yard shy of a potential tying touchdown on the final play, immortalizing the 1 yard short ending. The Rams' greatest show on turf dazzled fans with an electric passing attack led by Warner, Isaac Bruce, and Torrey Holt. Super Bowl 33, 1999. John Elway capped his career with a second consecutive Super Bowl win, guiding the Denver Broncos past the Atlanta Falcons 34-19 in Miami. Elway threw for 336 yards, rushed for a score, and claimed MVP. The Broncos' offense, featuring Terrell Davis, overwhelmed Atlanta's defense. For Elway, it was the perfect send-off, retiring afterward as a two-time champion and forever etched into Denver's football lore. Super Bowl 32, 1998. In San Diego, the Denver Broncos upset the defending champion Green Bay Packers, 31-24. Terrell Davis overcame a migraine to rush for 3 touchdowns, taking MVP honors. John Elway famously helicoptered through the air on a crucial third down run, epitomizing Denver's determination. The win snapped the NFC's 13-year streak of Super Bowl victories and secured the Broncos' first Lombardi trophy after multiple previous Super Bowl defeats. Super Bowl 31, 1997. Brett Favre's Green Bay Packers defeated the New England Patriots 35-21 in New Orleans. Desmond Howard scored on a 99-yard kickoff return, becoming the first special teams MVP. Favre's early 54-yard TD strike to Andre Rison established the tone. The Packers' defense, led by Reggie White, sacked Drew Bledsoe 5 times. This victory reawakened memories of Vince Lombardi's era and was Green Bay's first title since Super Bowl II. Super Bowl 30, 1996. In Tempe, Arizona, the Dallas Cowboys overcame the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17. Larry Brown picked off Neil O'Donnell twice, setting up 2 touchdowns en route to MVP honors. Troy Aikman found success targeting Michael Irvin, while Emmitt Smith pounded the ground game. This was Dallas's 5th Super Bowl win and solidified the Cowboys' 1990s dynasty. Barry Switzer became the second head coach to win both an NCAA title and a Super Bowl. Super Bowl 29, 1995. The San Francisco 49ers routed the San Diego Chargers 49-26 in Miami. Steve Young threw a record-setting 6 touchdown passes, easily securing MVP. Jerry Rice caught 3 of those scores, continuing his Super Bowl dominance. The Niners jumped ahead 14-0 within the first 5 minutes and never looked back. This victory marked San Francisco's 5th Lombardi trophy, making them the first franchise to reach 5. Super Bowl 28, 1994. In Atlanta, the Dallas Cowboys repeated as champions by defeating the Buffalo Bills 30-13. The game was tied 13-13 at halftime, but James Washington's fumble return touchdown ignited the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith earned MVP with 2 second-half scores. This was Buffalo's 4th straight Super Bowl loss, a tough pill for Bills fans. Dallas, meanwhile, celebrated back-to-back crowns under head coach Jimmy Johnson, building on their 90s powerhouse reputation. Super Bowl 27, 1993. At Pasadena's Rose Bowl, the Dallas Cowboys trounced the Buffalo Bills 52-17. Troy Aikman fired 4 touchdown passes, netting MVP. Dallas's defense forced 9 turnovers, a Super Bowl record, as the Bills lost 5 fumbles. Michael Jackson's halftime show drew global attention and began the era of blockbuster Super Bowl performances. And this blowout commenced the Cowboys' dynasty of the decade, returning America's team to the sports pinnacle. Super Bowl 26, 1992. Minneapolis witnessed Washington's 37-24 win over the Buffalo Bills. Mark Rypien took MVP honors by throwing for 292 yards and 2 TDs. Washington jumped ahead early and maintained control, capitalizing on turnovers. This gave head coach Joe Gibbs his 3rd Super Bowl title with 3 different quarterbacks. The Bills' Jim Kelly fought valiantly, but Buffalo's repeated Super Bowl heartbreak started here as they fell short yet again. Super Bowl 25, 1991. A tense showdown in Tampa ended with the New York Giants eking out a 2019 victory over the Buffalo Bills, courtesy of Scott Norwood's infamous wide right missed field goal. Running back Otis Anderson earned MVP with 102 yards and a touchdown. Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick's ball control strategy limited Buffalo's no-huddle offense. This heartbreak was the first of 4 consecutive Super Bowl losses for the resilient but star-crossed Bills. Super Bowl 24, 1990. The San Francisco 49ers dominated the Denver Broncos 55-10 in the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history at the Louisiana Superdome. Joe Montana threw 5 touchdown passes, 3 caught by Jerry Rice. Montana's MVP performance left no doubt about his legendary status. John Elway and the Broncos offense never gained traction against George Seifert's squad. The victory secured the 49ers' 4th title of the 1980s and cemented their dynasty. Super Bowl 23, 1989. A nail-biter in Miami saw the San Francisco 49ers edge the Cincinnati Bengals 2016. Trailing by 3 with just over 2 minutes left, Joe Montana led a 92-yard drive capped by a touchdown pass to John Taylor. Jerry Rice recorded 215 receiving yards, clinching MVP honors. The game showcased Montana's unmatched poise under pressure. Bill Walsh's innovative West Coast offense reigned supreme, reaffirming the 49ers' status atop the NFL. Super Bowl 22, 1988. Doug Williams made history as the first African-American quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, propelling Washington to a 42-10 drubbing of the Denver Broncos. Williams erupted for 4 second-quarter touchdown passes, earning MVP. Rookie running back Timmy Smith ran for a Super Bowl record 204 yards. Although Denver scored first, Washington's 35-point second quarter spelled doom for the Broncos, sealing one of the most lopsided come-from-behind wins ever. Super Bowl 21, 1987. The New York Giants toppled the Denver Broncos 39-20 at the Rose Bowl. Phil Simms delivered one of the most efficient quarterback performances in Super Bowl history, completing 22 of 25 passes for 268 yards, earning MVP. Joe Morris and Mark Bavaro helped the offense control the clock. New York's defense held John Elway in check, sparking the Giants' first Super Bowl triumph under Bill Parcells and defensive guru Bill Belichick. Super Bowl 20, 1986. The Chicago Bears wrapped up a historic season with a 46-10 mauling of the New England Patriots at the Louisiana Superdome. Buddy Ryan's revolutionary 46 defense forced Patriots quarterback Tony Eason out early. Defensive end Richard Dent was named MVP for his 1.5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles. The Fridge, William Perry, even scored a rushing touchdown. This unstoppable Bears squad, led by Mike Ditka, finished 18-1 overall. Super Bowl 19, 1985. Stanford Stadium featured Joe Montana's 49ers dominating Dan Marino's Dolphins 38-16. Montana passed for 331 yards, totaled 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 rushing, and was named MVP. Marino, in his only Super Bowl appearance, struggled against the swarming San Francisco defense. Roger Craig scored 3 TDs, further overwhelming Miami. This victory solidified the 49ers' 1980 supremacy and underscored Montana's reputation as Joe Cool in high-stakes matchups. Super Bowl 18, 1984. The Los Angeles Raiders pummeled the defending champion Washington Redskins 38-9 at Tampa Stadium. Marcus Allen ran for 191 yards, including a 74-yard reverse field touchdown, seizing MVP. LA's defense confounded Washington quarterback Joe Theismann, forcing 3 turnovers. Early in the game, the Raiders blocked a punt for a touchdown, setting the tone. This resounding win validated head coach Tom Flores' leadership and bolstered the Raiders' commitment to excellence. Super Bowl 17, 1983. Washington outlasted the Miami Dolphins, 27-17, at the Rose Bowl. John Riggins rushed for 166 yards, including a defining 43-yard 4th-down touchdown run, and was named MVP. While Miami scored quickly, Washington's defense stiffened. Joe Gibbs earned his first Lombardi Trophy, launching a successful run in the 1980s. This victory also avenged Washington's Super Bowl VII loss to the Dolphins a decade earlier, turning the tide in franchise history. Super Bowl 16, 1982. The San Francisco 49ers defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 26-21 at the Pontiac Silverdome. Joe Montana grabbed his first Super Bowl MVP with an efficient, methodical performance in Bill Walsh's West Coast offense. A critical goal line stand by the 49ers defense thwarted Cincinnati's comeback. Dwight Clark, fresh off the catch in the NFC title game, snagged another touchdown. This championship kicked off the 49ers' 1980s dynasty under Montana and Walsh. Super Bowl 15, 1981. Jim Plunkett led the Oakland Raiders to a 27-10 upset over the Philadelphia Eagles at the Superdome. Plunkett tossed 3 touchdowns, 2 to Cliff Branch, earning MVP honors. Oakland's defense forced 3 turnovers and never trailed. This victory made the Raiders the first wildcard team to capture a Super Bowl, underscoring owner Al Davis's motto, "Just win, baby." For Plunkett, it was a triumphant redemption story after years of struggles. Super Bowl 14, 1980. The Pittsburgh Steelers won their 4th title of the 1970s, besting the Los Angeles Rams 31-19 at the Rose Bowl. Terry Bradshaw threw 2 long touchdown passes to secure MVP despite multiple interceptions. Down 19-17 in the 4th quarter, Pittsburgh rallied with big strikes to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. The Steel Curtain defense clamped down late, finalizing the Steelers as one of the great dynasties in NFL lore. Super Bowl 13, 1979. In Miami, the Pittsburgh Steelers outscored the Dallas Cowboys 35-31 in a rematch of Super Bowl X. Terry Bradshaw nabbed MVP with 4 touchdown passes, while Franco Harris added 2 scores on the ground. Roger Staubach mounted a late comeback for Dallas, but a key drop by tight end Jackie Smith proved costly. With back-to-back championships, the Steelers staked their claim as the team of the 70s. Super Bowl 12, 1978. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Denver Broncos 27-10 in New Orleans' Superdome. A suffocating Cowboys defense forced 8 turnovers, earning co-MVP honors for Harvey Martin and Randy White. Quarterback Craig Morton, a former Cowboy, struggled mightily for Denver. While Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett contributed offensively, this Super Bowl is best remembered for Doomsday's havoc, as Dallas captured its second Lombardi trophy under Tom Landry. Super Bowl 11, 1977. John Madden's Oakland Raiders dominated the Minnesota Vikings 32-14 at the Rose Bowl. Fred Biletnikoff was named MVP for key catches setting up touchdowns, though running back Clarence Davis led in receiving yards. Minnesota never found offensive rhythm, turning the ball over 3 times. Madden's lone Super Bowl victory as head coach cemented his legacy, while the Vikings absorbed their 4th Super Bowl defeat without a championship. Super Bowl 10, 1976. The Pittsburgh Steelers claimed a 21-17 triumph over the Dallas Cowboys at Miami's Orange Bowl. Lynn Swann took MVP with 161 receiving yards on just 4 catches, including an acrobatic sideline grab. The Steel Curtain sacked Roger Staubach 7 times, preserving the lead in the final minutes. The second consecutive Pittsburgh championship under Chuck Noll solidified the Steelers' standing as a new NFL powerhouse. Super Bowl 9, 1975. In muddy conditions at Tulane Stadium, the Pittsburgh Steelers overcame the Minnesota Vikings 16-6, capturing their first franchise championship. Franco Harris bowled his way to 158 rushing yards and MVP honors. The Steel Curtain limited Minnesota to 17 yards rushing and forced multiple turnovers. Terry Bradshaw did enough to secure the win. This victory kickstarted a dominant run for the Steelers and piled more Super Bowl misery on Minnesota. Super Bowl 8, 1974. The Miami Dolphins showcased their power at Houston's Rice Stadium, beating the Minnesota Vikings 24-7. Larry Csonka ran for 145 yards and 2 TDs, earning MVP. Bob Grease completed just 6 passes, but controlled the tempo. Miami's famed no-name defense stifled Fran Tarkenton and forced turnovers. The Dolphins repeated as champions after achieving the only perfect NFL season the year before, becoming a certified dynasty under Don Shula. Super Bowl 7, 1973. In the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, the Miami Dolphins completed the lone perfect season in NFL history by beating Washington 14-7. Safety Jake Scott grabbed MVP with 2 interceptions, including 1 near the goal line. The Dolphins' defense held Washington scoreless until a fluky Garo Yepremian fumble touchdown fiasco. Coach Don Shula's squad finished at 17-0, a record that still stands unbeaten in the annals of pro football. Super Bowl 6, 1972. Tulane Stadium in New Orleans saw the Dallas Cowboys secure their first Lombardi trophy with a 24-3 victory over the Miami Dolphins. Roger Staubach threw 2 touchdown passes en route to MVP. The Doomsday defense stifled Miami's offense, allowing just 185 total yards. It was a cathartic triumph for Dallas, dispelling their next-year label after multiple postseason disappointments. Miami, however, would famously bounce back the following year. Super Bowl 5, 1971. Known as the Blunder Bowl, this contest at the Orange Bowl ended with the Baltimore Colts edging the Dallas Cowboys 16-13. The teams combined for 11 turnovers, with the Colts coughing up 7. Rookie kicker Jim O'Brien drilled a game-winning 32-yard field goal in the final seconds. Linebacker Chuck Howley of the Cowboys became the first defensive player and the first from a losing team to be named MVP. Super Bowl 4, 1970. The Kansas City Chiefs stunned the Minnesota Vikings 23-7 at Tulane Stadium in the last AFL-NFL World Championship before the merger. Len Dawson earned MVP, managing the game efficiently and capitalizing on 5 Vikings turnovers. Chiefs head coach Hank Stram was famously mic'd up, urging 65-toss power trap that sealed a TD. This decisive AFL victory reinforced that the upstart league could go toe-to-toe with the established NFL. Super Bowl 3, 1969. In one of the most significant upsets in sports, Joe Namath's New York Jets toppled the Baltimore Colts 16-7 at the Orange Bowl. Namath guaranteed a win days before the game and backed it up, claiming MVP despite no touchdown passes. Running back Matt Snell paced the offense, while the Jets' defense forced turnovers from Earl Morrall and Johnny Unitas. This victory propelled the AFL toward parity with the NFL. Super Bowl II, 1968. Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packers repeated, beating the Oakland Raiders 33-14, once again at the Orange Bowl. Bart Starr secured back-to-back MVP honors with 202 passing yards and a TD toss. The Packers' defense corralled Oakland's powerful offense, allowing just 35 rushing yards. This marked Lombardi's final game as Packers head coach. Soon, the Super Bowl trophy would be christened the Vince Lombardi Trophy, honoring his legendary influence. Super Bowl I, 1967. Officially titled the AFL-NFL World Championship Game, it pitted Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packers against Hank Stram's Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Bart Starr threw 2 touchdowns to lead the Packers to a 35-10 win and seize the first ever Super Bowl MVP. Though it wasn't a sellout, it laid the foundation for professional football's marquee event. Green Bay's second-half surge displayed the polished efficiency of Lombardi's regime. And there you have it, the entire Super Bowl saga in one epic 20-minute sprint. From the Packers' early domination to the latest Chiefs' heroics, these games have shaped the NFL's storied legacy. Seriously, the dynasties, the legendary comebacks, and the underdog triumphs capture what makes American football so thrilling. Hope you found this rundown helpful. Thanks for sticking around till the final whistle. If you love high-energy breakdowns of gridiron greatness, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for more deep dives into the world of American football.